one last ride to send 2018 out in style. We are here in St. Louis, Missouri, here for the Gladiators to take on the Queen City Corsairs, the final SFL game of 2018. My name is Eric Vincent, alongside Gus Schultz for my color commentary this evening. Gus, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Not only are we closing out 2018, but we are closing out the Season 12 preseason tonight. We've had some great games over the last few days. The rookies have been exceptionally fun to watch, and we've got a few more of them on display tonight.
We do. We've got the 14th overall pick over on the Queen City side. We've got the first overall pick and the 16th overall pick on the St. Louis side. So should see some more rookie action here. And we're going to head down to the coin toss to see how this thing all shapes out.
The American will make the selection. What is the call? Heads. Tails. Will kick.
So the Gladiators have won the toss. They will defer, so they will go ahead and kick off to start things off here. And the Corsairs will receive the opening kickoff. Graham Northrup has the ball teed up. And is in the air, and we are underway here in St. Louis. From about the 20-yard line, Queen City going to bring it up the field in a quick tackle by the St. Louis Gladiators special teams. And it'll be the 36-yard line where Queen City starts off, and veteran A.J. Caswell comes on out, and he will take over on offense for the Corsairs. What do we expect to see from this offense here, Gus?
I expect the veteran to do a lot of good throwing, but he's got new weapons around him, a new running back and two new wideouts, so expect him to start a little slow.
And a handoff to that running back is Ash Odom, and he gets a big burst of speed up the middle, out across the first down marker to the 47-yard line. Good start there for the Corsairs.
Yep, really good way to start things off. A nice, powerful run to establish their presence and dominance. I like it. Now let's see how soon they want to start throwing that ball or if they stick with the run.
J.K. Johnson, the third undrafted rookie, one of the wide receivers. Chris Curtis coming back for his fourth season, and Stephen Hacker, the 14th overall pick in the SFL rookie draft, are the wide receivers for the Corsairs. Ash Odom's going to get another carry, though. This time only gets about one or two out to the 49.
Zachary Bates there, the 16th pick rookie, coming in on that tackle. Nice to see the young defender getting involved right away, making the stop.
And we've got Shane Masters down there at defensive tackle. Jumu Afalabi, the veteran, coming back at linebacker, as Ash Odom gets another carry. And it looks like Ethan Kai is going to make that tackle there, just short of the first down.
A lot like I saw in the match I covered yesterday, we are going very run-heavy to start things off, and the veteran Ash Odom doing a good job for his efforts. Stymied on a couple of these runs, but picking up some pretty solid gains so far.
Colin Douglas at corner, and Drew Riley, the undrafted rookie, going to be at the other corner spot. Marquise Reed, the free safety for the Gladiators defense. Another handoff to Ash Odom, who's got the first down and more, breaking through tackles out to the 36-yard line of St. Louis.
That's Ethan Kai, excuse me, on the tackle there, second-year player with the Gladiators. And gotta love when the safeties are able to stop something from breaking exceptionally big, because if he doesn't make that stop, that ball might be going to the house.
Offset I formation for Caswell. He's got two wide receivers towards the top of the screen, one at the bottom. Another handoff to Ash Odom. He has gotten every single play so far, and he gets knocked down at the 32-yard line, gain of 4.
You can tell they definitely want their run game working before they get to the pass. That's the only reason you come out and run the ball this much. Queen City has a talented batch of wide receivers on their roster, so they want to start getting them going, especially their two rookies.
Ash Odom, an absolute beast, though. And, of course, as soon as you say that, Caswell's going to throw, and he's going to be sacked. Shane Masters getting in there and causing a ruckus, bringing Caswell down to the turf.
That's what you get when you go out and spend the big dollars on a defensive tackle. Pressure straight up the middle. Caswell just no time to find the openings in the defense and get that ball away.
So a third and forever coming up here for the Corsairs. We'll see what they do. Caswell's going to line up empty in the gun. Trips towards the bottom of your screen. Caswell, short drop, quick throw, over the middle of the field. He's got Chris Curtis. Curtis all the way out to inside the 10 to the 5, and a first and goal for Queen City.
And this is why you hold on to your veterans. That rhythm allows you to get the big plays when it really matters most. This is a great throw, finding the hole in the 2 safety cover deep, and Chris Curtis almost taking it all the way in there, brought down at about the 4-yard line.
So a very efficient drive here for the 4-time champs. As Caswell comes to the line, he will be under center, pro set, 2 backs in the backfield, behind him 2 wide outs at the bottom of the screen. St. Louis stacking the box, gonna get the handoff. I think that's the fullback that gets the handoff this time, and he goes absolutely nowhere as the defense stymies him in the backfield.
That is actually the secondary running back, Todd Mack. He's a really small guy. You want to see him get to the edge to really break a run open, but the defensive line is having nothing to do with that kind of nonsense. Blows it up in the backfield.
That's true, I forgot. Hadley Diamante is the fullback for Queen City. He's one of my favorite guys. Caswell's going to be under center here for the 2nd and goal. Loss of 2 on that previous play. Caswell's going to throw a quick out and threw it just a little bit too far out of bounds. That was intended for the rookie, Stephen Hacker.
Yep, and you expect a veteran to be able to come down with those, but for a rookie, a very understandable mistake. You just have to slow that down a touch earlier. Make sure you keep your feet down. But they've still got another chance, 3rd and goal coming from the 7, and they should at least be able to come away with points here, even if they don't get the touchdown.
Same formation from that completed deep bomb to Chris Curtis from before. Caswell's going to throw it. He's going to throw it to the corner of the end zone, and that's a touchdown. J.K. Johnson III, the undrafted rookie, with the first score for the Queen City Corsairs.
Yep, this is a great route here coming out of the trip set on the right. He just works his way to the outside and beats the coverage to the back corner of the end zone. Really good work against a man scheme, and a perfect throw from A.J. Caswell to make it happen.
Kicker punter extraordinaire Ricky Matthews is going to line up for the extra point here. And the kick is up and good. So just like that, 1 drive, 1 score into the end zone. 7-0 your score in favor of the Pirates from Buffalo.
Very good running efficiency. Now we have to see how St. Louis is going to respond. Do they also come out run heavy with their 3-year veteran Denzel Diaz, or do they want to go to the passing game and test out their new players on their wide receiver and tight end positions?
Matthews boots it down the field. Fielded just inside the 15-yard line. St. Louis is going to bring it upfield. And that was Tito Moss on the return. He will be brought down at the 25-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Gladiators. And number 1 overall pick, Moody Mitchell, coming out onto the field. He is the new face of the franchise in St. Louis. We will see what is to come of him as they get lined up here for the first play from scrimmage. Pro set for Mitchell. Mitchell's going to take a short drop. He'll throw it over the left-hand side. Tipped in, incomplete. And that was almost going the other way. Oscar Dunkley, the corner out there for Queen City.
Yep, that's a play that you expect a good veteran corner to make against a rookie quarterback. The throw is just not quite perfectly well conceived, and so Moody Mitchell doesn't find the hole in the coverage there. And look for them to try and get him some help, run the ball, and create better opportunities for him to throw a little bit later.
And you mentioned Denzel Diaz coming back. He is their running back, 3rd season. Nick Finch is coming back for his 3rd season. Badir Ajlauni joins the squad. He's coming over from Houston. And Cody Scott will be in his 4th season in the league. 3rd with the Gladiators. 2nd down and 10. Throws it over to the right-hand side this time, does Mitchell, and he was looking for Ajlauni again. Does not quite get in touch with him, so it'll be 3rd and 10 coming up.
2 incomplete passes in a row is not how you want your rookie quarterback to get things started. They need to find some simple, easy completions for him so that he can establish a rhythm if they want to be a pass-heavy passing game going forward.
Pharaoh Reigns, the other corner, the undrafted rookie for the Corsairs. Zane Doty and Achilles Frank are the free safeties. Nacho Sicario at strong safety, and there's an interception. Zane Doty, just as I'm talking about him, picks it out of the air from the rookie, and will bring it back the other way for Queen City.
His ears were burning. He heard you talking about him, and he wanted to make sure to live up to the hype that you brought for him. He makes a great read on this slant route coming underneath it, gets up really high into the air, and just has it scouted in the whole way. Very great defensive play there, and a big momentum flip for Queen City, who will get the ball already into St. Louis territory.
Certainly not a good start for the first overall pick. 0 for 3 and a pick on his first drive of action, but this being the preseason, that's what it's there for, get the kinks out. AJ Caswell's going to throw, and he's going to throw it deep over the middle, tipped, and it is intercepted. Going back the other way, Ajumu Afalabi with the interception, somehow back out in coverage. No, it was Bo Knowles, excuse me.
Yep, Bull Nose just dropping back into his zone scheme here, trying to read this one, and the tip up into the air is from Ethan Kai. So great play from the strong safety once again, and creates an opportunity for his linebacker there to get them the ball back.
So back-to-back interceptions. We've got all sorts of excitement, and we'll see what Moody Mitchell can do on his second possession here. 1st and 10 from the 36. Handoff this time to Diaz. Mows over the first linebacker, but not the next, as he gets stopped for a loss of 3 in the backfield.
Not much to say on that one. The defense gets a great push and blows it up before it really even starts, and that's something that you expect to see when a team runs the ball a whole lot. Those defenders are going to play up heavy and aggressive there to try and get that shut down.
Jeff Duffy at defensive tackle and Avery King at linebacker, the other stars that I didn't get a chance to mention on that last drive. Mitchell gets his first completion and gets it out to Nick Finch with a huge completion out to the 49-yard line and into enemy territory.
And that is, I believe, their first first down there, coming on a good completion. It's a nice, simple slant route. The ball could have been placed up a little bit more to give Finch an opportunity to run with it, but everyone has to have a first completion, and good to see Moody Mitchell getting his right there.
Mitchell is going to come out with an I formation this time. Diaz dots the I. Mitchell's going to check it down to Diaz, design screen, throwing the stiff arm, but nothing doing on that play as Zane Doty, who got the interception on the last drive, lays a licking on Diaz.
It's a great read from Mitchell. He sees that pressure coming as Queen City showed blitz, and he very smartly gets that to his running back check down. Only 4 yards on the gain, but 4 yards on first down is a win every time.
Queen City stacking the box. Got about 9 guys in the box there. Diaz is going to get the handoff anyway and almost gets the first down. He's going to get tackled just a yard shy. It'll be 3rd and short coming up.
Great piece of running on 2nd down to pick it up against a very heavy set. Normally you expect to see them check out of that into a play action, but they stick with their man and they believed in Diaz, and he didn't let them down.
So we'll see if they believe in Diaz on this 3rd and short here. Diaz going to get a pitch play here, trying to follow blockers, but he's going to get dragged down in the backfield. Queen City forcing the punt, and they'll get the ball back.
Yep, and that is Nacho Sicario there on the stop, and he has that one sniffed out. There was a cutback lane, but the minute that he sees Diaz bounce that to the outside, he is following right with him to keep from getting that first down, and now they send out the punt team.
Bo Zaborowski is going to be the punter. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. He'll take the punt, boots it high in the air. Fair catch called for at about the 14-yard line. They will mark it at the 13, and that is where Queen City will take over for their 3rd possession, as AJ Caswell threw an interception on the last time.
Yep, 2 back-to-back picks is a bit of a surprising start to most games, but it seems like we're settling into a rhythm now. Both teams are moving the ball. I don't think we're going to see as many takeaways here on this next coming drives.
There's that trips formation again. This time he's going to throw it down to the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side. That's Chris Curtis again, who's got 37 yards on 2 catches.
Chris Curtis expected to be the workhorse of this wide receiving core. He's been playing for all 4 of his seasons with Caswell under center, so expect them to hook up when it counts most. 4 yards on first down, great way to start.
And for those of you new to the Simulation Football League, the preseason is very basic playbooks, no real game planning involved, so we're just seeing how these individual players look on the field. And the St. Louis defense is looking great on that play as they drag down Ash Odom in the backfield for a big loss.
Yeah, the swarm from the defensive line has been real for both defenses so far, and it comes from the way they have built out their teams. They both came in with a lot of emphasis this offseason on defensive tackles and good linebackers to get them stopped.
And what a play there. J.K. Johnson III, who has the touchdown on the scoreboard there, he gets a huge catch to extend the drive from A.J. Caswell.
Beautiful throw right over the corner, the shoulder of the corner. Finds his receiver with very little space, but it gets him the first anyway.
And just like it's very generic playbooks, a chance to kind of try things out, see how these guys are looking. It's a chance to try out new uniforms, and it looks like Dwayne Schindler, the owner of the St. Louis Gladiators, put in the alternate uniforms for this particular contest. Queen City rocking some different uniforms. I'm liking the look so far here, Gus.
Yeah, it's a good look for both teams. It's kind of green heavy. It can make it a little bit tough to tell the difference, but that lime green, that's going to be Queen City, and then the darker green, of course, for St. Louis. But they're both very good looks. I just wouldn't use them against each other so much.
Caswell's going to throw. He's going to throw it over the middle of the field, and he's got his target. Trying to catch who that was. That was Brian Seek, one of the tight ends, who gets the catch and extends the drive.
Gotta love the throws in the middle to a tight end because they have such big bodies. They present a matchup nightmare, and they can go up and win balls in the middle that a lot of wide receivers wouldn't be able to go get.
So right from midfield, Caswell is going to bark out signals, change the play at the line. He's in a pro set under center. He's going to turn around, hand it off to Ash Odom, who's trying to follow blocks. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage as the tackle was made by Carl Forgy.
Yep, that's another one of those big defensive linemen for the St. Louis Gladiators. They're really putting in work. They want A.J. Caswell to beat them through the air, and they're really committed to stopping the run game.
So a 2nd and 10, pitch play to Odom. Odom got some blocks over on the left, and he gets a good chunk of yards out to the 43-yard line, brings up 3rd and manageable.
And he drug the longtime veteran Colin Douglas about 6 yards after the initial point of contact there. That very likely could have been a 2-7, 2-8 finish to that, but instead he drags him 7 yards to make it 3rd and 3.
Ash Odom 6'1", 230. As Caswell's under pressure, he avoids the sack and throws it over in the middle of nowhere. I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag on that particular play for grounding. But alas, it is a 4th and 3, and Matthews will come out to punt.
And it's a very good decision by Caswell to get out of that sack and get the ball into a place where no penalty and no interception. A younger quarterback would have taken the sack there or possibly risked an interception.
Caswell all 5 seasons here with Queen City as that punt is almost blocked by the St. Louis special teams. A good punt by Matthews as they are not quite able to keep it in bounds before going into the end zone. They're going to mark it as a touchback, bring it out to the 20.
Almost the perfect special teams play there, but sometimes those things take weird little bounces and you can't get them down where you need them to. So a 20-yard line start for the St. Louis team. They've still been shut out in this first quarter here. They really need to get their offense moving again.
Only 15 seconds left to go here in the opening quarter, so that score will likely have to wait as Mitchell will hand it off to Diaz, who gets a good burst of speed, brings it out to the 27-yard line, and that will likely be the final play of the quarter.
And hard-hitting Zane Doty there on that tackle absolutely lays Diaz out. That is the kind of tackling that I'd love to see from those strong safety, or from free safeties in general. Just get out there and put those pads on your man and don't let him go anywhere.
First quarter in the books. 7-0 your score as the visiting Corsairs take a small lead over the hometown St. Louis Gladiators. Diaz getting another handoff. Following blockers on the left-hand side. He's got a burst of speed. He's going down the sidelines on the numbers themselves. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Gladiators.
And that's the advantage of a veteran running back right there. He sees the holes and smartly gets around all of the blocks. And then it's just a foot race against linebackers, and you expect a small-bodied running back like Diaz to win those battles, and win them he does. Beating out, that's number 57, actually a guard, Bigham Smith.
And I'm fairly certain that Diaz is the shortest athlete we have in the SFL. He's at a standing tall 5'6" at 205. And oh boy, he's got a ton of speed, breaking it to the outside there and able to get it into the end zone. What a great run there by Diaz and getting the Gladiators on the board.
Can't be big, you gotta be fast if you want to play a skill position like wide receiver or running back, and Diaz's Jets there were the difference between a touchdown and a 15-yard run.
Graham Northrup to line up for the extra point here. And that is up and through, so we've got a tie ball game here in the Gateway City. 7-7 is the score. And in case you're new to all this, this is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We've got it live on YouTube. Eric Vincent alongside Gus Schultz. We are the commentators for this particular matchup, the final preseason game of Season 12 and the final game overall of 2018. And we're happy to bring it to you as Northrup boots it down the field. Short kickoff fielded at about the 15. And I believe that might be Hacker doing the returning duties. It is, and he brings it out to the 33-yard line where Queen City will take over.
And Hacker's shown some good decision-making as the return man. A lot of rookies, they just want to run all the time. But he's taken some smart, fair catches, and he returns the ball when it seems like he's got space, and it shows here, giving his team a 33-yard starting position.
We'll see what Caswell and company can do here. Pro set to start things off. Handoff and a lot of room for Ash Odom doing his best Denzel Diaz impression as he gets all the way out to midfield on the first play.
That's a huge truck to make that run play work there, and that's what you get with a bigger-bodied running back, is that they can lay the hurt on a defender there. That's number 32, Marquise Reed, getting laid out. He comes into St. Louis from Queen City, and what a hello to him.
So a 1st and 10 now from midfield. Caswell in the gun, 2 backs on either side. Caswell's going to hand it off, and he's in trouble as Masters brings him down. Odom not even getting an inch, really, and losing 4 along the way.
Shane Masters continues to be a nuisance through the center of Queen City's line, and that's exactly what we want to see from him. That is the anchor of the defense. Everything pivots around him, and he's living up to that responsibility.
Single back for Caswell. He's going to throw over to the right, and he's got his man. Curtis again with another catch, and this time getting about 5 or 6 as he gets right back out to midfield.
Curtis has been doing some great work out there in the flat. He continues to beat his man to the outside and give Caswell an easy throw to make where you just got to loft it up and let your man go win that battle.
Trips towards the bottom of the screen for this 3rd and 9 for the Corsairs. Caswell in trouble, throws it on the run. He's got his man. Coverage was tight on that play as he'll get dragged down behind the line to gain. So a 4th down coming up here for the Corsairs.
A good defensive stand from St. Louis. Their offense comes out and ties the game up for them, and they say, we appreciate you guys. Now we're going to get you the ball back. Probably a pretty long field coming from where this punt is, but the ball is the ball.
Matthews gets it away. Standing at about the 10-yard line is Ajlauni, and he gets absolutely leveled. They'll give him forward progress to the 12. But still, like you said, a long field to work with here, Gus, and we'll see what Moody Mitchell and company can do as they trot back out onto the field. Denzel Diaz looking good on that last drive.
Yeah, Denzel's been looking great. We haven't heard a whole lot from the wide receiver and tight end positions. We've had some completions to Finch, but Ajloni and Scott both quiet so far. I really want to see them get involved here in this next drive.
I formation to start things off. Quick pitch over to Diaz, trying to get to the outside, and he does for a moment. Avery King drags him down after a gain of 2.
Short little runs seem to be this team's bread and butter. Come out and get the defense sucked in to the point where they can open up some of their bigger plays. So not the worst thing that could happen to them here. They didn't go backwards, and they are moving the ball.
And it looks like Mitchell's in trouble as he's going to go down. That short drop there, not enough as the defensive line gets in and makes the play.
A big push from the defensive line on that one, and really good coverage on the back end to make sure that the rookie quarterback can't get a quick throw to get himself out of the trouble.
3rd and 9 from the 13. Bunched receivers at the top of your screen. Mitchell's going to take a deep drop. Pockets collapsing. Throws it high. And almost a very accurate catch for the wide receiver. Just a touch too high there. Falls incomplete. And we've got 4th down once again.
Yeah, Nick Finch at 6'2", usually you expect him to be able to go up and win some balls, but that one just placed a little bit too high for him. But that's probably something that over the time we expect Mitchell and Finch to get on the same page and that ball to be in the right spot. But this time, they lose it on 4th down and they punt it back away.
Queen City coming after it. Almost got there again. And this is going to be a shorter punt. Definitely great field position here for the Corsairs as Johnson III gets dragged down at the St. Louis 42. So as I mentioned, great field position here for Caswell and company. We'll see if they can capitalize on it.
I love seeing Queen City getting both of their rookie wideouts involved on special teams. We've seen Hacker as the kick returner and Johnson as the punt returner. That's real good opportunities for them to make some plays in space.
Pro set for Caswell. Takes the snap, throws it deep over the field. Behind the coverage once again is Chris Curtis. And another great catch as he racks up his 4th catch on the evening.
Curtis has a real knack for finding the holes in the zone here, and that's exactly what happens. As the linebacker is trying to get moved back, Curtis is just sitting down in that space between the linebackers and the safeties, and that's exactly how you want to attack a sort of Tampa 2 defensive style. Great work from them.
Caswell with a delayed handoff to Odom, but St. Louis saw that coming a mile away. He gets knocked down for a loss of 3 on the play. And looks like Mo Biggins, your boy from the other play, looks like he made that play there.
Yeah, Mo Biggins putting the work in. And I mean, I've got to say, that's about the best football name I've ever seen for a defensive lineman.
Got to throw it in the all-name list, right?
Fantastic. Absolutely.
Caswell barking out signals. He's under center. He'll take a deep drop. Throws it quickly over to the right. Marked down at about the 10, they'll say the 11-yard line, and that was Johnson with a catch.
Caswell continues to pick apart this zone coverage that St. Louis is running. And if St. Louis wants to get committed to stopping the passing game, I feel like they're really going to have to start shifting into more man coverage looks to make the reads a little bit harder for Caswell to make.
Caswell's going to throw again. Pocket collapsing. He throws it to the side, and it's incomplete. Colin Douglas out there on coverage, as well as a couple other guys. That was definitely a dangerous throw from Caswell, as it could have easily been picked off.
Yep, overthrown into the back corner is usually okay, but Colin Douglas actually beating Stephen Hacker to that corner makes it a very dangerous throw. Lucky for Caswell to not come up empty with the pick there, and instead they'll run the kick unit out to try and reclaim their lead.
Ricky Matthews is on the field, and he will attempt approximately a 28-yard field goal. Snap is good. Kick is up and away and through, officially from 27 yards. And Queen City, like I said, Gus gets back in the lead. This time with a 3-point lead, 10-7 your score.
And it's not a bad finish to that drive for them, because they had moments where it looked like they were going to get stopped big, but then they were able to come up with just enough to keep the drive going. So a good defensive stand holds them to 3, but they'll be happy to have those points.
Matthews boots it downfield. Fielded at about the 10-yard line is Tito Moss, and Tito getting a good return all the way out to the 36-yard line. Looks like it could have gone for much, much more, but dragged down right there, and still great field position for the Gladiators as they have about 6 minutes left to go here in the first half.
An extra block or two, and that could have gone all the way to the house. So well covered up on the blocking side by the St. Louis boys. Now let's see what their offense has to say.
2 backs for Mitchell. 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen. Turnaround handoff there. Free guy coming through as Denzel Diaz gets rid of the first defender, not the second, as we get a look at his numbers there on a loss of 2.
Jeff Dovey, the strong side defensive tackle, coming in at 6'5", 300 pounds. That is a lot of defensive tackle. No surprise to see him putting in the work at stopping the running plays.
I wouldn't want to run into that dude in the back alley. Trips towards the bottom of the screen. Mitchell's going to throw. He throws it deep towards the right. Bobbled and incomplete. He was looking for one of his other wide receivers. I believe it was Tito Moss that he was looking for there. Couldn't quite reel it in.
I'd really like to see St. Louis try to get Diaz open more out on the sides on the swing routes and more of those screens. He's a small, fast wide receiver. Get him the ball in space on the kind of extended handoffs. That should give them more opportunities for him to win one-on-one matchups on the outside.
He was second in receptions for a running back in Season 11. And the most targeted in Season 11 as well amongst running backs. Did not fumble at all last season. As Queen City will field it. And that's J.K. Johnson the third, bringing it out to the 33-yard line, where Queen City will get another shot here.
Serviceable starting position for Caswell and the boys to go to work from. They've shown the ability to move the ball on the ground and in the air, so they really have a wide open playbook trying to expand this lead before we go into the half.
4:45 left to go here in the first half. Offset I formation, pitch play to Ash Odom, who gets out of the first tackler and the second, not the third, as he gets dragged down at the 39-yard line. Good gain of 6 on first down.
Yep, always going to be happy when your running back can break 2 tackles there. The first one would have stopped him in the backfield. The second one would have made it a 2 or 3 yard run, which is okay. But by breaking that and getting a 6-yard gain on first down, you can run any play you want on second and short.
Gladiators stacking the box here as Ash Odom gets another handoff, and a broken tackle leads to a first down carry for Ash Odom as he gets across the 45 to the 48-yard line.
This man is hungry right now, and I say keep feeding him the rock. He wants to catch up to his opponent Diaz on the other side in yards before the half, and he is definitely fighting for every single one of them.
Swift feet by one of the offensive linemen to get through the hole first ahead of Ash Odom. Probably helped spring him just a little bit more there for that first down carry. And on first down here, Caswell's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Sacked on the play by the defensive line, Scott Underwood.
Scott Underwood working one-on-one there with the right tackle, and that right tackle is just not ready for the kind of speed move off of the edge there. I love the fast outside blitzers because they really change the dynamic of the outside blocking schemes.
Big dude, too. 6'6", 297, but very quick off the edge and able to wrap Caswell down and drag him down, for a 7-yard loss. So second down and forever for Caswell and the Corsairs. Caswell will throw, and he got majority of that back. 16 to the rookie, Stephen Hacker, and a 3rd and short coming up for Queen City.
As good as Hacker's work has been on special teams, we haven't seen a lot of him on the wide receiving side, but this is a good throw and catch right there. Just 1 foot out of bounds a little early keeps that from being a first down.
Probably could have been a touchdown just the way it was looking there, but definitely swift feet from the rookie, the 14th overall pick. And a 3rd and 1 for Queen City. I formation, handoff to Odom. Odom lowering his head. He does not get there. Great open field tackle by Ethan Kai to keep him from getting the first down.
We've called Kai's name a few times, and that is a critical stop for them. If they give up that first down, they likely let St. Louis into field goal range. But stopping him here at the 42, oh, they're going for it.
We'll have to see what they do here. 4th and inches, offense still on the field. Offset I formation for Queen City. And they'll run a play. Pitch play to Ash Odom, and Odom is not going to get there. Shea Masters drags him down, and a stop for the St. Louis Gladiators.
What a stand from St. Louis. Instead of letting the field goal attempt happen after a first down were to let Queen City march, now they get the ball back for their offense and have a chance of their own to put points up before the half.
3 wide receivers for the first overall pick. Moody Mitchell. He will drop back and throws it over the middle of the field. He's got Tito Moss, and that will get him 9 as they run the hurry-up offense.
A great tackle there to keep him down. Inbounds, not break it for the first down, keep that clock running.
Denzel Diaz crossing the first down marker to gain, and that'll be a first down out across the 47. We'll see if they can get one more play in here. And they will not, as we have reached the 2-minute warning here in St. Louis. 10-7 your score in favor of the visiting Queen City Corsairs. You're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
And as tumultuous as the start of this game was, you know, Queen City goes down and get the first score of the game, then back-to-back picks. I thought we were going to have a much different affair here. This has been great.
Diaz with a handoff, full head of steam, and only gets about 1 as he'll get dragged down at the 47. They might have given him 6 inches there as Moody hurries the troops to the line. He's going to hand it off to Diaz again. Diaz lowering his shoulder, all 5-6 of them, and he'll make it out to the 44-yard line. Looks like St. Louis is going to slow things up and huddle up.
He'll have to be careful lowering his shoulder. He doesn't want to hit those defensive players in the knees. I'd like to see him go to more of a spin move style than trying to truck those much bigger defenders.
I tend to agree with you there. Offset I. Diaz is going to get the handoff, and he doesn't have anywhere to go. So he'll only get a couple, and that'll bring up 4th down for St. Louis. Disappointing end to what looked like good field position. But they'll have to punt it away here to Queen City on the 4th down.
Yep, 3 consecutive run plays with so much field left and so little time is a very interesting decision. Look to see that change as these teams get a little deeper into their game plans once we hit the regular season.
So punter Zaborowski is going to let that play clock bleed all the way down before he punts it away. Looks like J.K. Johnson is content letting it go. And St. Louis downs it at the 4-yard line of Queen City. So a great punt and great job by the special teams to down it before getting into the end zone.
I have to think Queen City's not too concerned with doing much on this drive because they have all 3 timeouts. If they really wanted an opportunity to do something, they should have called a timeout before that punt drug a whole bunch of time off the clock.
100% agree there. Caswell's going to throw. He'll sidearm it over the middle of the field, and that's caught. It's going to be a 7-yard gain, and that's Johnson the third again with a catch. But as you mentioned, all 3 timeouts, and looks like that clock is just going to slowly tick away here in the first half.
I've loved the balance so far, though, from Queen City's offense. We've seen plenty of Ash Odom. The ball's been getting thrown to all their wide receivers and their tight ends. They have shown a really solid start to their year.
Handoff to Odom on the final play of the first half. And it goes for maybe a few, as that will bring us to the end of the second quarter. At halftime, 10-7 your score in favor of Queen City. As the teams go into the half, we got the 2K Sports halftime show booted up. We'll give you the first half stats and highlights. And we'll be right back in just a moment. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
I like what I've seen from Moody Mitchell so far too. All right.
And we're back here for the second half. Just talking a little bit off air about we're liking what we're seeing from both teams. Eric Vincent alongside Gus Schultz doing the play-by-play commentary for you today. And the St. Louis Gladiators going to get the second half kickoff. Tito Moss on the return, fielding it at the 5, following blockers and getting a forearm shiver into the turf. And he'll get knocked down at the 24-yard line. Good things we're seeing from the rookies. Good things we're seeing from both of these teams, especially a St. Louis team who only amassed 2 wins last season in Season 11 here, Gus.
Yeah, 2 wins is not the kind of season anybody wants, but if they keep playing like this, I think we're going to see them much closer to the 6 or 7 that they want to get.
And the SFL doing away with conferences this season, so every team is going to be playing against each other as we get a completion from Moody Mitchell, the first overall pick, to their new acquisition, Badir Ajlauni. And I believe that's his first catch of the evening as he makes it out to the 29-yard line.
I believe you're correct. He's coming in from Houston by way of Cleveland, and he's the kind of guy with 4 years experience that you really want to see heavily involved in their offensive game plan.
Offset I formation. Denzel Diaz going to get the handoff here, and he'll make it out to the 32-yard line. And again, a good point to mention as we bring in the second half, these are very basic playbooks, nothing real special. No game planning or anything like that. Just kind of getting a hat on a hat, seeing what these individual players look like on the field, guys.
Yep, and we're seeing really good things from all the new players, and that's exactly what you want on a preseason.
And Diaz looked like he had a hole for a hot second. Avery King comes zorching in there, wraps him up by the legs, and knocks him down for a loss. So a 4th down now. When it looked like they were probably going to move the sticks.
Yeah, he had an opportunity if he could have bounced it out a little further, but instead we will have the 4th consecutive punt from this St. Louis team. Queen City's defense has really figured out how to clamp down on 3rd down and is really giving Moody Mitchell a lot of problems.
So another punt for St. Louis. This one a good one, out past the 40. And J.K. Johnson III will be dragged down at the 41 of Queen City, where A.J. Caswell will come out for his first possession of the second half.
That was Sheldon Morant, the gunner, coming off the edge from that one there. He got a great burst and able to blow that up, prevent the return. But this is still great starting field position at their own 41-yard line.
Single back for Caswell. Ash Odom being that single back, and Odom will get the handoff here, breaking through tacklers. Plenty of tacklers, almost making it past everybody. Colin Douglas, the lone member of the Gladiators defense, able to bring him down.
Just one more broken tackle, and that could have been all the way to the house there. He breaks 1 on a defensive linesman, 2 on a defensive linesman, makes a safety miss, and it's number 44, Colin Douglas, who ends up making the play there at the end and saving the touchdown.
To be fair, I think Ethan Kai was getting absolutely bowled over by an offensive lineman, so he didn't have a ton of opportunity to make the tackle there. But either way, an impressive run by Ash Odom as he gets the first down, and he's going to get another carry here. Following blockers, very shifty back for his size, and he gets another first down carry, averaging almost 5 yards a carry, which is impressive.
Absolutely impressive, and this is the kind of running that you just let the man continue going to work, because until St. Louis decides that they want to come up and stop him, you just keep going. And when they decide to come up, air that thing out deep and take advantage of that great wide receiving core you have.
And with trips towards the top of the screen, looks like they might be doing that here. Although Odom is going to get the pitch, and he gets absolutely leveled. What a hit by the St. Louis defensive front. Call 4G getting in there and making a hit.
Yep, that is an incredible push from the defensive end right there. Nothing the offensive line could do to stop him on that play. And that brings up a 2nd and 14. That's a lot of yards to make up.
Caswell's going to throw. He's in trouble. Hit as he's thrown. Somehow completes it for a minimal gain out over the middle of the field.
That's number 88, the rookie Stephen Hacker, who I had the privilege of commentating with last night, earning his keep there for the Queen City offense and making it a little bit more manageable of a 3rd down.
4 wide receivers for Caswell. Ash Odom sidecar right. Caswell's going to quickly throw it over to the right-hand side, and that is Curtis. I don't believe he got his foot in bounds. Only 1 foot here in the SFL. And that will be marked as a completion and a 4th down upcoming.
Yep, just a little bit too late on that throw. You need it in a little further so Chris can make that play. And he's caught that ball 2 or 3 times already in this game. But coming up short, they're going to run out the kick unit for a pretty long, we'll call it about a 48-yard attempt or so.
This certainly is no gimme. Ricky Matthews lining up for it. Good snap. Kick is up and away. Does it have enough? It did, but it was wide left. And Queen City, unfortunately, will come away with nothing as we get into the look.
So close there. The distance is very good. They could have even been backed up a couple yards more, but that left to right just not quite where he needed it to be. So St. Louis comes out of here unscathed despite allowing some very big runs and good starting field position for them to go back to work.
3 and out on their first possession of the second half. We'll see what the rookie extraordinaire Moody Mitchell can do as he pitches it to Diaz, who gets absolutely destroyed in the backfield. Rip for Denzel Diaz, and that'll be a loss of 2.
Yep, and a second tackle for loss for the defensive tackle, Jeff Duffy there. That's a big boy coming at you real hard. If you're going to go toe-to-toe with him, you want to have momentum and be getting to his outside, not taking that hit straight on.
I formation this time for Mitchell. Mitchell's going to take a short drop and throw. Quick out over to Ajlauni, who makes the catch for a minimal gain, maybe 2 or 3 yards on that play.
Yep, getting them back to where their original starting position was, but it still leaves them with a 3rd and 10. And with the woes they have had on 3rd down, I have to think Queen City is going to be rallying very hard to the ball. They'll let the underneath pass happen and trust that they can get another stop here on 3rd.
35 strong and counting, taking a peek in at the SFL live on YouTube, presented by APM Music. St. Louis with the catch. Unfortunately not able to convert that 3rd down, and that will bring up the punt unit again for the Gladiators.
Yep, and that is Achilles Frank and James Budden combining on the tackle there. Free safety.
Good ball game here, Gus. Real back and forth. No one team really taking full advantage of the momentum.
Yeah, no real momentum shift because we've seen a lot of these drives just kind of ending in nothing. We've had a missed field goal, the half, and a turnover on downs for Queen City. 5 consecutive punts, just not a lot here.
Ash Odom with the carry to start things off on 1st down. Ethan Kai able to get him down to the turf for a minimal gain.
Yep, not much happening there, but hopefully that 1-yard gain will turn into a bigger yard gain here on 2nd down so they can start making some progress.
2 wideouts at the top of the screen. Ash Odom, the single back in the formation. Caswell under center. Defense stacking the box, and Sniffs run the whole way. Ethan Kai coming up and making another stop, this time behind the line of scrimmage on Ash Odom.
A great read from the safety there, getting up to blow that thing up, and that's what St. Louis needs. As long as they're not scoring, they have to keep Queen City from moving the ball if they want to keep this an open game. Because as much as Queen City moves it, it's still 3 points.
Another throw over to the right-hand side. This time to Villanueva, I believe, was the target there. Short of the 1st down marker. It's going to be 4th down upcoming for Queen City. They'll have to punt this time. Matthews with the punt. Good hang time. Fielded at about the 30-yard line is Tito Moss. No, I apologize. That's Ajlauni doing the punt return duties. And he doesn't go anywhere as he's dragged down at the 32-yard line, where the St. Louis Gladiators will take over once again. So back and forth we go here in the second half.
Yep, and it's really only probably going to take one big play to start breaking this game open. 3 points separating these teams so far, and somebody wants to extend that a lot further.
I formation, pitch play to Diaz, trying to follow blockers, able to scoot through to the 37-yard line, where it'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
I like the decision to cut back there. Even though the blocks are trying to funnel him to the outside, there was a secondary member waiting over there to cut that run short. By cutting it back inside, he's got an opportunity to break it big if he makes a broken tackle.
And Diaz, again, was more of a target in the passing game in Season 11 and not quite the runner, as Mitchell trying to lead his guy a little bit too much there into tight coverage. I believe that was Nick Finch. That was the target on that play. Zane Doty with the great play on defense.
Yeah, that monstrous Queen City Corsair secondary was all swarmed around that middle of the field there. That is a very dangerous throw that rookie's going to have to find a way to not be throwing if he doesn't have to.
So a 3rd and 6, pro set for Mitchell. He'll take a short drop, has plenty of time. He's going to throw deep to the left, and he's got his man, Nick Finch, with the catch as he gets ushered out of bounds at the Queen City 35-yard line. The best-looking drive for the Gladiators tonight.
That is a great throw and catch there. They read the zone coverage, and so Finch finds exactly where that hole is going to be, and Moody Mitchell delivers an absolute gem right there in front of the safety. Finch goes up and wins it, and that is a big drive to get them a lot of momentum real quick.
Good looking drive here as they march into Queen City territory. They can sniff the red zone from the 35-yard line. 3:25 and counting to go here in the third quarter. Mitchell with a short drop. He's going to check it down to his fullback. Lowering his shoulder, makes it out to about the 30-yard line, down to the 29. And that was Truckee Steck with a good catch there.
Everybody loves them some Truckee Steck. Good to see him getting involved here in the passing game. 6 yards on first down has them marching and ready to put up their first points in a very long time.
That catch keeping St. Louis on schedule. 2nd and 4. Diaz with the pitch play, trying to follow blockers. First down and out to the 24-yard line. And that will move the sticks again for St. Louis.
Yep, Diaz finally finding some room to run. He's been stymied a lot by that Queen City front seven, but he gets to the outside, picks up the first down, and the march continues.
High formation this time for Moody. Queen City stacking the box. Mitchell's going to hand it off to Diaz, and Avery King comes free, able to drag him down behind the line for a loss of 3.
Yep, and now that Queen City's committed to the run, now take this field that you have. 27 yards is a lot of space for your wide receivers to work. I really want to see them try and throw the ball here and get it real close down to the end zone.
3 wideouts, handoff this time to Diaz. Diaz lowering his shoulder and breaking a tackle. Able to make it out to the 21-yard line. Still a 3rd and 7, but could have been much, much worse for the Gladiators on that play.
Yep, that could have been blown up in the backfield, but Diaz continues to show a strong ability to break lots of tackles and make defenders miss. And it's really about one of the best things keeping St. Louis in this game right now.
Just outside of the SFL red zone is St. Louis, 3rd and 7 from the 21. Mitchell, good pocket, finds his man, past the marker for another first down. That's Badir Ajlauni with another catch.
Yep, and that's the kind of throw that's going to get your wide receiver hit every time. But when you have a veteran like Ajloni there, he knows that that's coming and he is prepared for it. A great job of securing that ball and making sure not to cough it up and risk a fumble or an incomplete.
First red zone visit, I believe, for St. Louis on the evening as Diaz gets a handoff and gets absolutely destroyed. Right there at the line of scrimmage, a good tackle on the play by Zane Doty coming up from his safety spot.
Yep, Zane Doty is an absolute menace in a run-stopping position. You don't see a lot of that from safeties, but he just continues to get flexed up there into that like extra linebacker or blitzing position, and he's really good at getting to where Diaz is and cutting those plays short.
Corsair stacking the box again. Diaz just a little too quick for that defensive lineman that got in pretty quick. Doty with another tackle, but not before Diaz makes it out to the 9 for a 3rd and 7.
Hate to keep talking about the same guy over and over again, but Doty laying the hurt onto Diaz one more time. He does not want to give up this touchdown here.
Obvious passing situation for the Gladiators. Queen City coming out in man defense. Flag on the play. Complete to Ajlauni, short of the first down marker. And we will have to see what the penalty marker is all about.
I didn't catch what this was, but it's a good throw and catch. So unless this is on the offense, they'll be in a good spot to go for it.
And it's going to be defensive holding against the Corsairs. So that's going to be a first down for St. Louis, and that might do it here for the third quarter. I think they froze it with 2 seconds left, and that's going to be it. 10-7 your score at the end of the third quarter. St. Louis knocking on the door. We'll see if they can retake the lead as you're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
I always think the start of the fourth quarter tells you a lot about a game. If it's a blowout, you go, we don't have to pay too much attention. Only 3 points, this is going to be a barn burner of a finish.
We'll have to see what happens here as Mitchell starts off with first down, throws it to the back of the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown, Cody Scott.
Yep, and that is the first touchdown for Moody Mitchell here in the SFL with his St. Louis team. That's got to feel good, hooking up with the tight end there, who's just running to the back of the end zone, using that size to win this battle.
And actually pretty good coverage there by James Budden as he gave him a little shove as he came off the line there, trying to deflect his route. But great job there by Cody Scott, the former Skyhawk, getting in there and making the play and giving the Gladiators the lead. Graham Northrup lining up now for the extra point.
And the 4-point lead here would be really huge for St. Louis.
But alas, the extra point is complete. And a 14-10 score for the Gladiators as they now hold a 4-point advantage. A good point there, Gus. Had they missed that extra point, that would have been very, very key for the possibility of Queen City tying it or retaking the lead. But plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. We'll have to see what happens here as Caswell is going to get the ball back. Fielded at about the 15. Another short kick. J.K. Johnson III has room on the left-hand side, and he will be dragged down at the 42. An impressive return there from the undrafted rookie.
Yep, a great setup here for J.K. Johnson. He's got the blocks all lined up for him to go down that left side of the field, and he sees it really well and just keeps driving to pick up as many yards as he can. His offense needs that spark because they've been a little quiet recently. They haven't put up points since very early in the second quarter, and now down by 4, they need a touchdown to get back into the lead instead of just a field goal.
Two backs in the backfield for Caswell as he's under center. Caswell's going to take a short drop, zing it over to the right-hand side. I believe this is fullback Diamante with his first catch of the ball game out to the 49-yard line, a gain of 7.
I love seeing the fullbacks coming out of the backfield because it prevents this weird matchup situation where they're bigger and heavier than a running back, but they're not quite as fast as the tight ends. It can be really awkward to try and cover them, and 7 yards is a good gain.
Hadley Diamante, 6'2", 254. And Ash Odom is going to get his first carry here of this possession, and he'll get dragged down at the 48-yard line. A good play there by Zachary Bates, the rookie.
Zachary Bates, kind of the first time we've really had much cause to talk about him, but he was the 16th pick in the draft, 6'3", 248. Good size for the outside linebacker position. Look to see more from him as this goes on.
And Ash Odom again goes nowhere. This guy, though, we've been talking about him all game long. Shane Masters with another key defensive stop, and that's going to force another Ricky Matthews punt.
A huge stop for St. Louis Gladiators. If they can come out and score more points and make this a 2-score game, that would be a huge momentum swing for them.
Matthews with a clean snap, gets the punt away. Ajlani with blockers in front of him only gets about 4 or 5 as he makes it out to the 26-yard line of St. Louis. So arguably the best drive that we've seen from the Gladiators on the previous possession. And they're going to come out and possibly let Moody Mitchell sling it around again. He got his first passing touchdown this past possession.
Yeah, some really good decisions from him on that last drive to where to put that ball. I think you let the hot hand go to work and see if he can do it again.
First and 10 from the 26, handoff to Diaz. All 5-6 of him weaving his way through blockers out to the 31-yard line for a gain of 5.
And that is Oscar Dunkley, the cornerback, on the tackle there. And Diaz has continued to be a nuisance. Even though he's tiny, he runs in the middle of that field really well. just kind of avoiding the sight lines of those really big defenders by way of only being 5'6".
Single back formation. Diaz being the single back. Delayed handoff. He will get it, and he will get about 2 on the play before he is dragged down by James Budden.
Love the draw call there on second and fairly short, and the defense for their part does a good job of staying in their lanes and kind of making sure that they keep their eyes up and don't let that break for much bigger than it could have been.
Diaz is going to get another handoff here, 3 in a row, and this time he goes nowhere, losing yardage, and it will bring up a 4th down for the Gladiators.
Good defensive stand there. Lots of good stuff from the Queen City defense, trying to create the opportunity for their offense to come back in this. We're in the 4th quarter now, so every single possession in a 4-point game matters. You want points on all of them, but St. Louis not getting them here.
And Queen City almost getting to the punt as Zabrowski gets it away. J.K. Johnson the third with another punt return, getting about 4 yards on the play, and he'll bring it out to the 38-yard line. So, just in case anybody is new here, this is a special preseason presentation of the Simulation Football League. It is live on YouTube, brought to you by 8PM Music. I am Eric Vincent alongside Gus Schultz, and we've been doing commentating for this game. Great game between the St. Louis Gladiators, Queen City Corsairs. 14-10 your score, as you can see, as Ash Odom gets a handoff here. This is completely controllerless, by the way. This is completely done by AI. Usually we'll be doing game plans for these games. Not so in the preseason. Just want to see how these guys look on the big screen here, and it's been looking good, Gus.
Yeah, but looking really good, especially for these running backs. 2 veterans in Ash Odom and Denzel Diaz, and both of them very quickly approaching 100 yards or already well past it. Those guys are putting in a lot of work to keep their teams in this game.
So Odom is going to get another handoff here, and he just about got to the 1st down marker. They'll mark him just shy on a 3rd and 1 coming up here. Great stop by the defense.
Yep, and 3rd and 1 is always an interesting situation for an offense, especially with a good running back. You know, do you run the ball here, or do you go to the play action and try to trick that defense a little bit?
3rd and 1, pitch play to Odom. Odom getting some room on the outside. 1st down and more as he cuts back inside and gets dragged down. Looks like it was a hefty gain out to the 46-yard line. Good play there by the veteran running back.
Good for 7 or 8 in a situation where you only need 1. It might have broken for a little more if he'd bounced that out at the end instead of coming back inside. But after you pick up the 1st down there, everything else is gravy.
6:22 and counting to go in the final frame. Caswell under center, single back formation. He'll check it over to Odom. Odom, with 3 defenders on him, is going absolutely nowhere. He'll get dragged down at the 46-yard line. As I mentioned, a good trio of Gladiators out there to greet him as soon as he caught that pass.
Now, unfortunately, that kind of screen swing play really only works if you catch the defense in a kind of man blitz look. When they drop back to play zone, that is going to get eaten up really quickly.
Odom with another handoff. He's been busy on this drive. He will go nowhere as he gets marked down at the 45-yard line, so a 3rd and 9 coming up. Obvious passing down for the Corsairs.
Jumu Afalabi coming up in the middle to make that stop there. We haven't talked about him much either. That's the big inside linebacker who came over from Chicago a couple seasons ago, saving the big run play.
Caswell's going to pass, deep drop, throws it to the right-hand side, tipped in, incomplete. Ethan Kai read it the whole way, couldn't quite make the interception, but a 4th down coming up.
Ethan Kai, the younger of the 2 free safeties on the team, but the one who has been with the team for longer, and the very definite leader of that secondary. He has done incredible things all game back there. Really made it hard for Caswell to throw the ball.
4th and 9 for Matthews as he punts it away, hoping to pin the the Gladiators back deep. As Ajlauni fields it at about the 10, he'll get up to the 15-yard line. And that is where St. Louis will take over with 5:09 left to go here in the ballgame.
Yep, and that is the second consecutive punt we've had for Queen City. St. Louis's defense continues to come up big and make the plays when they need them to. And you can't ask for any more out of the preseason. They've got 2 rookies there and another Marquise Reed new to that roster. And their defense holds very strong now that they've got the lead.
Hand off to Diaz, who gets absolutely mauled at the line of scrimmage. 2 Corsairs greeting him as he hit the line of scrimmage, so no gain there. Second down upcoming.
Yep, and at this point, they can be going into their 4-minute offense. Go very run-heavy, wait a lot of time before you get that play off, burn as much clock as you can while still trying to get that ball moved.
The rookie snapping the ball with 19 to go on the play clock, so not really wanting to chew as much clock as possible right now. Diaz, again, barely getting past the line of scrimmage. A 3rd down and long coming up here.
Yep, and they've shown a lot of run tendency even on 3rd down situations, so it wouldn't be surprised to see the defense really try to key off on that. But only 6 in the box, they're ready for the pass.
Pro set formation for Mitchell on a 3rd and 9. This time letting the play clock drain a little bit. Snaps it with 5 on the play clock. Diaz getting the delayed handoff, and Queen City was having none of it. He'll lose a yard, 4th down coming up, and the Corsairs will get the ball back here with inside 4 minutes to go.
Yep, inside 4 minutes, and they should have pretty good field position forcing the punt from the 15-yard line. Wouldn't be surprised to see if they only have to move about half the field or so.
Zaborowski right at his own goal line. Takes the good snap. No pressure from Queen City. It's going to be really good field position here for J.K. Johnson, the 3rd in company, as he brings it out to the 44-yard line of St. Louis. And A.J. Caswell will try it out on the field, and we'll see if he can nail a game winner here.
Yep, and this may be his last chance at the ball with 3:25 left. If he takes up half the clock, then it's entirely possible St. Louis could take up another half. So they need 100% a touchdown on this drive.
Single back formation for Caswell. St. Louis stacking the box. Handoff to Odom, in trouble and goes down for a loss of 1. Great defense on the play by the Gladiators, and making sure that Odom didn't get any breathing room at all.
Shane Masters, the man of the hour for that defensive line, continues to make Odom's job hard.
Caswell with a short drop, good pocket, zings it over the middle, tipped in, incomplete. Looks like it was a drop by the tight end there. He was looking for Seek.
Yep, and this is the unfortunate side of, the salary cap situation. If you can't always spend all your money on all of the players, so the tight end there, not on a huge contract, comes up a little bit short on a crucial 2nd down play.
So with a 3rd down, everyone here in the stadium chanting defense on their feet, trying to get a preseason victory here for their Gladiators. 3rd and 11 for the Corsairs. Bunch wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. Caswell, quick throw over to the left-hand side. He's got Curtis, and Curtis will get the majority of that back, but just shy of the 1st down marker out to the 35-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds.
And if there's any sense in the game plan here, they will be going for it on this 4th and 1. A field goal doesn't really help them much. You got no guarantee of the stop. 4th and 1, I think you've got to take a chance on your running game here.
And a running formation and a free play as well. Odom gets the 1st down anyway. But a jump off sides by the St. Louis defense guaranteed an extra set of downs for the Corsairs.
And that is just the costliest mistake you can make. You cannot jump off sides on a 4th and 1 and give them the free opportunity. If that had been a pass play, they could have taken a shot down the field and possibly scored a free touchdown on you. You have to be disciplined on those 4th and 1 and 3rd and 1 situations.
Scott Underwood, the guilty party there, so it will be a 1st down for the Corsairs. as we get a look at A.J. Caswell coming up to the line. Under 3 minutes to go here in the ballgame. Single back, 2 wide receivers for Caswell. Delayed handoff to Odom. St. Louis reading it the whole way, knocking him down at the line of scrimmage. Afalabi was in there on the stop.
And now that they got the first down, it's kind of nice to see him go back to the run and keep this clock running. They feel confident that they can get into the end zone, and so they don't want to give St. Louis a chance to get the ball back.
Caswell doesn't like what he sees, changing things at the line. He's under center. Heavy formation here for the Corsairs. Pitch play to Ash Odom, and Odom goes down in the backfield. 2 Gladiators meeting him right at the line of scrimmage and dragging him down at the 31.
The work from this defensive unit to stop the run, absolutely incredible for the Gladiators. That was Afalabi again on the point of attack. Been with the team 2 years now, came over from Chicago, and his work along with Masters and Zachary Bates in the middle has been phenomenal to keep this running game where it is.
2 minutes to go in the final game of the 2018 calendar year. This is the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. A.J. Caswell and the Queen City Corsairs faced with a 3rd and 10. Pocket collapsing. Throws it up for grabs, and it's intercepted. Ajamu Afalabi going the other way, and he will bring it out to the 19-yard line, and that might just do it there for the Gladiators.
That is the biggest play that you can ask a linebacker to make there. He's dropping back into his zone coverage, and he just watches that one straight in. Great pick from him, and that could seal the deal as his team just has to run out a very short clock. 1 or 2 first downs should be all it takes.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts. We'll have to see the offensive game plan for the Gladiators here. Again, very basic game plans for these preseason matchups, as Moody Mitchell changes things at the line. Stretch play to Diaz. Denzel Diaz getting some room out to the 24-yard line, and that's where Queen City will burn their first timeout with 1:48 left.
That bouncy little running back doing exactly what you want, picking up a decent gain, but refusing to go down quickly and letting just that couple extra seconds come off the clock forces Queen City into using their first timeout of the half.
Mitchell with an I formation. Hand off to Diaz. Frank coming free over on the corner. No, excuse me, that was Nacho Sicario coming free on the corner there, making the stop. And Queen City burns their second timeout.
Yep, once again, 2 or 3 yards is all you need on these running plays. Clock didn't move as much there, though, because that one wrapped up very quickly. So they definitely need the first down here. If they can get that, they'll be able to run the clock out fairly well. Queen City only has 1 left.
Key 3rd down. Diaz in trouble, and he's going to go down in the backfield. He loses 4 yards on that play as Queen City blows their final timeout, but they will get the ball back here, probably with around, I'd say, maybe 1:15 left to go.
Queen City sends the house on 3rd down and short, and Nacho Sicario coming off the right edge of the offense, able to get into the backfield and blow it up huge. So St. Louis has to punt and hold Queen City out of the end zone one more time to hold on to this preseason win.
Low snap there. I misspoke there. They'll probably get it with about 1:30 left, rather than 1:15. And Johnson, the third, making it out to the 49-yard line. So about 1:34, which is what's frozen on the clock currently. No timeouts for Queen City. And we'll see what A.J. Caswell has up his sleeve to see if he can get a victory here for the Corsairs.
And if anybody can do it, you know, this is a 5-year veteran with some good wide receiving talent. This is not an impossible situation for them, but they have to be smart with the plays.
Good starting field position, too, as Caswell throws it over the middle, and he's got his target. First down, yardage, and more. That's the rookie, J.K. Johnson III, with the catch as they go hurry up here. Caswell again takes the snap. Checks it down to Odom. Odom stays in bounds. And he will get knocked down at the 30. 2nd and 3 coming up.
You have to get out of bounds there. There's no excuse for that one.
Caswell, short drop. Again, we'll check it down to Odom. Odom looks like he got out of bounds this time, trying to stay in bounds. But he makes it out to the 25, 1st and 10 from the St. Louis 25.
And that's real important. Not only do they get the first down on the play, but they get the clock stopped. They are very much within striking range now. 58 seconds left is a lot of time to work with. So good play calling here, and they could take the lead with not much time for St. Louis to respond.
3 wide receivers for Caswell to work with. He'll take a deep drop. He'll throw a crossing route over the middle. That was Johnson the third with the grab. Now, I apologize, that was Stephen Hacker with the grab, the other rookie, 14th overall pick. Caswell's going to hurry them up. Odom with another catch, this time in the backfield, only makes it up to the line of scrimmage. They've only gained 3 yards total on this drive and burned through about 25 seconds. Caswell's going to take another drop. He's throwing it deep over the middle of the field, tipped up in the air and incomplete. Ethan Kai has had a couple of those today. And with 27 seconds left on the clock, this is the last chance here for the Corsairs.
Ethan Kai, the menace of the backfield, doing good things to come up and stop the run games. Is there anything that he can't do? Can we send him out there to return a punt or something? Just, to see if he can. He has been phenomenal tonight.
I'd love to see that. We're not going to get many more punts tonight, though. Final play of the game, 4th and 7 from the 22. Caswell's going to check it down over the middle. He's got J.K. Johnson the third. Did they give him the first down? They did. No, I'm sorry. They stopped him short. They will mark him shy, and it'll be a turnover on downs going back the other way to St. Louis.
I could have swore from the angle we had that his forward progress had him there, but I don't quite have the best view, coming at a little bit of an angle, but a beautiful stop for St. Louis, and they should be able to drop the knee and walk out of this victorious. And that's, just a testament to how well their defense played. They held a prolific Queen City offense to only 10 points.
And a fantastic game from both of these squads, as St. Louis will walk out of here with the victory as the final seconds tick off the clock. And Gus, this was a great game to call, and I was certainly glad to have you along for the ride. And the final game in the SFL for the 2018 calendar year. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much. This has been absolutely incredible weekend for me. Joining this broadcast team here has been a ton of fun, and the great games have been phenomenal. Very close affairs for both of them, and a great bite-sized preview of what we're going to have starting the season later on this week. A ton of running yards for both teams there, and just solid all-around performances by the defenses to keep this thing a low-scoring affair.
As the 2K Sports postgame show rolls on, get a look at the final game stats and highlights here. 14-10, the final score in favor of the hometown St. Louis Gladiators. And don't worry, folks, just because it's the end of the calendar year, we've still got Season 12 to come around. Next week, we've got the regular season. Stay tuned for the particular times and everything for those games and where they will be broadcast. We'll be broadcasting them from either YouTube or Twitch, so stay tuned in the Discord channel for that information. Any final thoughts before we let the people go here, Gus?
Definitely want to be around for the start of the regular season next week. The games only get better as the teams refine their playbooks and make those last-minute adjustments before things start. So as good as the games were this week, they're going to be even better next week.
2K Sports player of the game, Denzel Diaz, 30 attempts, 108 yards, and a touchdown, with 5 receiving yards coming out of the backfield. And again, we want to wish you guys a Happy New Year. On behalf of Gus Schultz, my name is Eric Vinson. Thank you for tuning into this special presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We will see you guys in the new year for the new season. Take care.